Good morning, welcome to Morning Reviews. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 10th of February. So, looking at the Eurodollar first, and well, we're back to that monthly pivot. There is certainly a potential break here, possible, I say potential. When you look, we're sort of tapping away at this monthly pivot, multiple touches on a 4-hourly time frame here, and I am uh, looking at this thinking, well, this could actually break through and eventually head off down towards that daily 50, maybe some more at this rate. So certainly looking weak. And again, you can see it on this hourly, the multiple touches there. However, it would be good to see that daily pivot out the way first. It isn't the be all and end all, but it would be good to see that cleared. So a break of the 21s could see that as a point of resistance with the 50-34 there as well, and potentially right, it could just sort of pop and drop. If it breaks the 50-34, well then I've got to be bullish towards the R1 and probably yesterday's highs and Wednesday's highs, Thursday highs, pretty close there. So really subject to whether it breaks that pivot level. Okay, so euro dollar, pound dollar. Big picture first. Well, it did manage to push up a bit further yesterday, but ends up closing off and giving us a shooting star. At this stage, it's more erring again towards the bullish side and possibly a break to 34 here and moves back towards that monthly pivot. Certainly very likely at this rate, but again, untouched daily pivot there, so I would like to see that run through first. If it does that, it's then tapped the top side about 3 times. It'll pass that a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what happens. A bit of patience perhaps needed around that level, but if it gives a signal up there, well, a weak signal for selling, well, it may be a selling point. Alternatively, just wait for the break of this 60-minute 21 back down to the S1. Maybe some more if we see a bit of follow through today. Dollar yen. Well, the dollar yen's broken out of this sort of wedgie type pattern eventually. Tested the 34, pulled back. But now strong surge up yesterday afternoon and leading through the Asian sessions pushed up. Now looking at the potential for that monthly pivots increasing. So again, it's probably edging on, a little bit overbought on some of this move up here. So there is a potential for a bit of a retrace, but it's consolidated there for so long. It's not unusual to see quite a push, although saying that the depth of that wedge has been more than met from the move up. But as I say, bigger picture, still could have potential up to that monthly pivot. Yeah, it's still early in the month. It's only 10 days in. Looking at the shorter time frames here, the intermediate time frame, and also looking at daily pivots. Daily pivots, well, untouched and a long way away at the moment. That looks an unlikely movement, but as I said, there were signs of sort of getting a bit overbought on the upper side much earlier, actually pushing up into yesterday's highs there, and we've not seen a real retrace. More important thing here really is some sort of retrace, maybe come in back to the 60-21s, may not come all the way back to the pivot as it's so extended. Looking at the RSI here, for example, look at the strength in this move, and it's a very fact it's still pushing up pretty strong at these levels. Perhaps it may have another kick up yet, but any retracements may be opportunities for further upside for that monthly pivot, now getting closer into target. Aussie dollar. The Aussie saw a bit of a boost through the early session, but not majorly. It's in this sitting in a wedge. I don't know if I drew it on the 60-minute. I had wedges on the 60-minute. I was just looking to see where I'd drawn this, but it's sitting in a bit of a consolidated wedge at the moment, doing better than other pairings. Had quite a boost actually through the Asian session, the first 4 hours of the market there to this morning, but well, it's not totally convincing at the moment, but we'll watch this how it runs itself through. I mean, you saw it yesterday. They moved very quickly, these markets, in the morning, and then gave back most in the afternoon. Be interesting to see what we see here, whether we get a shot up or not. Okay, Canadian dollar. Well, this continues in its well, the bull flag rather, on that 4 hourly doesn't look quite so appealing now. The longer it takes, however, it may just have one push at it. It looks like it's trying to break through the top of that trend line I've drawn on here, but it's not quite the same when you look at the hourlies. Um, Looking at this, the daily picture first on the left hand side here, still got the potential for it to shove up towards that 50, 34 sort of area. So any sort of break of this, it sort of gives us the sort of target areas to be looking for. As I say, it's just getting a bit too big in terms of ball flags. I mean, the flags disappeared, and it's time-wise, it seems to be running out. If it's going to do it, it should be doing it sooner rather than later. But we'll see. It's all over its daily pivot at the moment. A break of this 50 MA, the 50 MA that sits above it, could see it running up towards yesterday's highs and beyond it towards the R1. So certainly got the potential. Part of what's been helping it was the price of oil, of course, and it shoved up. Let's come back to the dailies there. You can see it shoved up again yesterday, back into $53 a barrel, that sort of region for West Texas. That could shove. It's looking quite bullish with this bullish pivot swing, but hasn't triggered the highs yet there, and is stalling on the 4 hourly. So, getting back to the Canadian dollar, well, there's certainly potential in that. But it really, for me, for the upside, it probably needs to move sooner rather than later. Okay, news-wise today, we do have some. We've got the key figure out this morning is the UK, the manufacturing production figure coming out at 9:30. Often creates a bit of volatility, 20, 30 points in the market. After that, the real one this afternoon, I guess, in terms of early biggish movements, is the Canadian unemployment data and employment data coming out at 1:30. So as it's on its own, unlike most months where it sits with non-farm payrolls, we can actually trade it separately or look to trade it separately. And then at 3 p.m. we've got the prelim consumer sentiment, which is not such a big mover. It's highlighted red, etc., but doesn't really give a lot of movement in general terms. However, with the Trumpism there, the Trump effect, who knows? Consumer sentiment might change quite a bit and see the markets see a dollar rally or quite the opposite, of course. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.